Alrighty, guys. It's been a little bit. Okay, we are now. It is January 22nd, 2021. Friday, TGIF. Okay, we are 2 days into a new presidential administration. Obviously not who we wanted it to be. Joseph Robinette Biden, de facto president under Kamala Harris, who will probably be our president in the near future. I'll make a blog when that shit happens. Okay, excuse me there. Joseph Robinette Biden implemented 25 executive orders on his first day of presidency. Of those 25, he implemented stopping the border wall, reinstating DACA, which that is an immigration thing. It's going to give amnesty to a whole fuck ton of undocumented aliens in our country. He has rejoined the World Health Organization. Boo. He's rejoined the Paris Accords. Boo. He is trying to get back into this Iranian deal that Trump got us out of. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, so yeah, this is not bueno. Among other things, most of what he did was for immigration shit. Make America second or even fourth in terms of everything. Well, despite all of this, life seems to be going on as normal, as I figured it would be. Everybody freaking out and stuff like that. Oh, boo-hoo, we're gonna die and stuff. Now, this ain't to say that, in the future, we may all be, pretty fucked up. According to the Harris-Biden agenda, as well as the squad in the House, they're weaponizing the FBI and the CIA to hunt down and reprogram Trump supporters. Ooh, this is bad, bad, bad. If that actually comes into some kind of play, y'all won, y'all cheated, but y'all won. Y'all need to freaking, do your victory lap and then, get on with business. Not hunting down your political enemies. Or not necessarily political enemies, your political rivals. There is chatter that old Trumpy Trump is going to start a third party, the Patriot Party. I've seen the logo. It's a lion with the red, white, blue tradition. And, I gotta say, it's pretty snazzy. I haven't seen a platform or anything else like that. I mentioned it to the wife last night. She says all that's going to do is just split the Republican vote, and and we'll never have another Republican in the White House. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, traditionally, that's what would happen with a third party. But given the name of this particular party, the Patriot Party, it not, and this is pure speculative because I haven't seen a platform or anything else. Trump had 70 million votes. And of those 70 million votes, he had a lot of Latino. He had a lot of the black vote. He had, of course, a lot of whites and Asians and pretty much the full spectrum. There was even rumblings that LGBTQ was actually, supporting Trump too. There's the walk away thing that happened. Basically, traditional Democrats were walking away from the party. So, given these things and these occurrences that happened during the Trump run for a second term, we have to think that if he platforms the Patriot Party to a conservative, traditional, constitutional party and pro-America first party, it might work. It could see the centrist Democrats who feel they have been betrayed by their party because it's moving so far left. It will get the centrist and even some of the more middle and a little bit of the far right into it. Because they're feeling betrayed by the Republicans who are doing nothing but sitting on their thumbs. Oh, we gotta be the good people. We gotta be the good people. There's a time for being the party of tradition and decorum. But when you're faced with an opponent who has zero qualms about slinging mud, cheating to win an election, and has zero qualms about inciting riots and violence and discord, all under the guise of, with a propaganda-filled media who's just basically a spin machine that can spin anything and everything into a web of lies and present it to you as the truth. This is no bueno. The time for tradition and decorum and stuff like that is gone. We need to take off the gloves and fight for our country. So, we gotta, speaking of fighting for the country, we got a damn migrant caravan coming up from, I think they said from Guatemala through Mexico. Whether the Mexican government stops it, which would be a phenomenal thing. It would be so amazing if the Mexican president just stops that fucker in his tracks. Or he just lets it mosey on through. Trump had negotiated some serious stuff with the Mexican president to stop them damn caravans. But, Trump ain't there no more. So we can only assume that all those negotiations fell through when Trump left the White House. Onward and upward. Let's see. We are looking at the fact that Biden did the evidence is pretty much staggering that Biden won by cheating, and the judicial system failed us to stop that or even to investigate it for fears, really fears of riots and violence, which we still ended up getting all that shit. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. It's going to be a very spicy 4 years. Texas has rumblings of secession. The states in the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, and Mississippi will most likely follow us if we do. But they're going to wait to see what Texas does. And then guess what, guys? If we do secede, we will control the entire Gulf Coast and a large swath of the eastern seaboard with Florida. Of course, except for Mexico. But and we all know that the Gulf Coast has, or the Gulf waters, has some very rich oil deposits in the Gulf. So there you go. According to the World Economic Forum, that if Texas was to actually secede and become an independent country, we would actually be number 4 in the world's richest countries because of our oil. Boom, baby. It's going to be, I hope Abbott has enough balls to keep everything from falling through. He was really vocal about the whole double vetting of the National Guard, which that was pretty crazy. And even now, the inauguration is over. The pageantry has subsided, and from what I'm hearing, Biden has more and more and more National Guard pouring into the Capitol. What does that mean? Does that mean that he's planning on doing some shit and he's worried that they're going to fucking come and get his ass? I mean, I haven't even heard if the fences are coming down yet. So, whoa, what's that? The walls are immoral! The walls are immoral! They sure as hell put a big old fucking wall up around the Capitol. We're going to stop building our wall on our southern border. That's pretty fucked up, guys. When policy and, movements on the chessboard are called foul and immoral and against the rules, unless it's you doing the movement on the chessboard, is signs of a very, very, very immature personality. That's the kid you don't want to play games with, because every time you make a move on the board, they scream foul, kick up a tantrum, and go call mama. Yeah. Not bueno. So, personal. I got my very first training done where I taught with the TSM, for the TSM. got my double points. I will be making PFC about the end of the month. So, woo, that's good. I'm going to be running a talk on Saturday, my first attempt at that. I'm currently running around with several hundreds of dollars worth of radio equipment in my truck. And on a positive note, I am not insane as far as the radio. Evidently, there was a legitimate problem with how I was trying to transmit, and not necessarily my transmission. It's everybody who was trying to receive was on a different sub-frequency. So, blah, 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 blah. That was kind of made me go, whoo, I'm so happy I'm not crazy. But, oh, shit. Well, I think I'm I'm only 16 minutes in. Okay, I can go for a little longer. Let's see. Antifa is still rioting. I mean, literally rioting in Portland, we kind of expected that. They had already said that Trump or Biden, they didn't really care. They were going to riot until the whole, thing comes tumbling down. You know what they said in Batman the Dark Knight, the Joker. Some people just want to see the world burn. And it looks like Antifa is just that kind of deal. They don't want our country the way it is. They want to burn it all down and rebuild it in their image, which a lot of people believe that. There's the belief that if America does enter a second civil war, because of a war amongst itself, it could actually burn the Constitution and rewrite it in its own image under reestablishment. Now, I don't know how that works, because the first Civil War did not burn the Constitution, but I'm not privy to constitutional law and constitutional protocols, which I guess there's really nothing to it. If we enter a second civil war and everything, and they have to they win, they can rebuild everything however they want, I guess. Abraham Lincoln saw evidently nothing wrong with the current buildings of the country, and did not seek to remake the country in his image, which was a good thing. I don't believe that if we was to a second civil war, would be definitely interesting, because there's really no hard targets. First thing that would have to happen would be secession. The states would have to secede, reform as a country. The North or the blue teams, the blue side, in theory, if Texas was to secede, not only will we get the Gulf Coast, it is believed that the breadbasket, which is straight up north to the Canadian border, would also follow us, and some a little bit to the east of us. Basically, it's believed that California, the upper East Coast, and I think they said either Arizona or New Mexico would go blue. That would basically divide their forces. I mean, unlike the traditional North and South, everything was pretty much south of the Mason-Dixon line was the South, and north was the North. It kind of got a little blurry the further west you got, because basically the entire Civil War was confined to the eastern part of the country. There was no north and south the further west you went, which is interesting. A vast majority of the country was not affected by the Civil War and didn't even know that it was going on, most of them, due to the limited communications that we had at that time. And if so, we can do, if they were to break off like that, California is blue. It's got a lot of people in it, and they can open their southern border and have, fuck tons of immigrants come in and I guess help them. I guess if we was to go into the Civil War, immigrants would probably not be massing to come in. They would be trying to get the hell out. Unless they figured fighting in an American Civil War would be a pathway to